Bruno Fernandes did not have a good game against Hull City. I won't sit here and lie to you that he did. Yes, the ratings might be 7.5 in that game, but we all know Bruno Fernandes did not have a good game. There are conversations going online. Fans are asking questions. Fans are criticizing Bruno. But the real conversation we should be having is why, after 6 years at the club, Manchester United are still dependent on Bruno Fernandes. Let's start with Hull City because that's where the whole debate has started from. United lost 2-0. Bruno played the full 90. In fact, he did drop to the midfield in the last minutes of the game. He had 104 touches, completed 74 of the 86 passes. That's about 86%. He took 3 shots and created 3 chances. StatMuse recorded a 0.26 expected assist and gave him 7.5 algorithmic rating. But this is where ratings need context. A 7.5 rating does not necessarily mean Bruno had a good game. United needed more influence from their captain against Hull City. And that's exactly where my issue starts. Why does a poor Bruno performance still feel like a poor Manchester United attacking performance? I think one of the reasons why the criticism is too harsh on Bruno Fernandes is because we have become so numb about his performances, about his output, about his stats, about his availability. Bruno Fernandes arrived in January 2020. Since then, he's had different managers, he's played in different systems, he's had different strikers and midfield partners. Yet Bruno has always remained as the key central figure when it comes to attacking output. Last season was the clearest example. In the 2025-2026 EPL season, he produced 9 goals and a record 21 assists. That is 30 goal contributions in 35 appearances. And it's not about the assists. He also had 132 chance creation. That's very good statistics from Bruno Fernandes, no doubt. Last season, he was among the key players that had United back into the Champions League. His performances contributed to Carrick's good performance, Carrick's good results, as well as United making it back to the Champions League. We've watched Bruno produce for so long that exceptional has started to feel normal. But this is the number that actually puts everything into perspective. Looking at the numbers since Bruno's debut in February 2020 till last season, Bruno has created 670 chances compared to Kevin De Bruyne's 432. Mohamed Salah is third with 411, while Bukayo Saka has 405, and his teammate Martin Odegaard has 377. That's a 238 chance gap between Bruno Fernandes and Kevin De Bruyne. Of course, we know Kevin De Bruyne has left the Premier League. He left the Premier League 1 season ago. Now, Bruno has played a lot of football in that period, so the volume and availability matter here. But that's the point. He's been available, he's been carrying Manchester United's attacking responsibilities, and he has kept producing. Then there is the consistency argument. At times we've seen Bruno being inconsistent, having poor performances, poor decision making, and that has affected Manchester United's overall attacking performance. But across the entire seasons, his level has been remarkably stable. I decided to check out his ratings season by season, and I used StatMuse. Since 2021-2022 season, he's had a 6.89 rating in the 21-22 season, and then a 7.19, followed by a 7.03 and 7.05. And last season, he had the highest rating of 7.50. This season is only 1 game old. He has a 7.48 rating on StatMuse, so that virtually means nothing at this point. And this is where the conversation changes for me. Since Bruno has been at the club, Manchester United have continuously changed managers, changed teams, changed players, but the attacking responsibility has always been on Bruno. And let's be honest, Bruno Fernandes has been Manchester United's best player, best signing post Sir Alex Ferguson era. And most of the fans will ask the question, where will Manchester United be without Bruno Fernandes? That's not simply a number 10 creating chances. That's one player sitting at the center of almost everything progressive this team does. And when that player has an off day, what's plan B? A club the size of Manchester United, a club that has ambitions to win the Champions League, the Premier League, to consistently strive to win trophies, should not depend on one player to be brilliant every week. And this doesn't mean every criticism of Bruno Fernandes is wrong. Sometimes he forces the final ball when United need possession. At times we've seen him become too frantic. Sometimes he tries to solve the problem himself. We've seen him drop into midfield, try to string passes, try long balls, try chipped passes, but most of the time it doesn't come off. it ends up giving the ball back to the opponents. And if your argument is that United need more control in midfield, I understand why Bruno becomes part of that discussion. But I think we have two separate questions here. Can Bruno make poor decisions and contribute to United losing control? Yes. Does that mean that removing Bruno automatically fixes Manchester United? I don't think the evidence supports that, especially after seeing what he has done for Manchester United the past 6 years. If anything, the amount Manchester United ask him to create may help explain why sometimes we see the hero ball version of Bruno Fernandes. You can't build your attack around one player's risk-taking and then you get shocked when that risk doesn't pay off. And there is also something that the spreadsheets, the statistics, the apps don't capture: presence, availability. Bruno wants the ball. When United are struggling, we have seen him take responsibility. He doesn't hide from it. That can become a weakness, especially when frustration takes over. And that's the reason why we've seen most of United's football flowing through Bruno. Bruno has been our creator, our goal scorer, the set piece taker, the captain. And often we've seen him expected to change the emotional direction of the game. And that's my point. All these responsibilities need to be distributed across a serious Manchester United team. Bruno should be an important part of Manchester United. He shouldn't be Manchester United attacking plan. So was Bruno Fernandes good against Hull City? For me, no. Not by his standards, not by what we expect from Bruno Fernandes. So should we criticize poor performances? Yes, by all means, it's completely fair. As much as we praise Bruno, we also need to criticize his performances. But one poor performance should not erase the last 6 years of Bruno at Manchester United and negating his importance to Manchester United. Bruno has played under different managers. He's had a different midfield combination. He's played with different forwards, different tactical ideas. Yet somehow the solution always comes back to the same thing: Bruno, do something. That's why I think Hull exposed something bigger. It has exposed just how Manchester United are still dependent on Bruno Fernandes. And now I want to know where you stand. Do you think Bruno Fernandes is taking too much responsibility at Manchester United? Or is his style of play actually the one causing Manchester United not to have more midfield control, more control in games? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you enjoy proper Manchester United discussions as well as analysis, please make sure you hit that subscribe button.